In the beginning was the Word. The Word was with God, and the Word was God. For God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son, so that we shall not perish, but have everlasting life. For our sake he made him to be sin, who knew no sin, so that in him we might become the righteousness of God. For we are his handiwork, created in Christ Jesus, to do good works, which God prepared in advance for us to do. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to today's stream. We are going to be working more with villagers to try to keep ourselves upgraded and updated. And of course, I might even build another farm, not a like mechanical farm, but like another wheat field or something like that. Just to get like dimensions and stuff measured out and how we're going to have that until we start building the next building or so. Maybe we'll even be planning that out. Not fully sure yet, but we'll just kind of go with the flow. But before we do any of that, let's go ahead and pray before the stream starts. If you will, please bow your heads with me. Dear Lord, thank you for today. Thank you for letting me be able to stream. Just pray that this will go well and smoothly, and that I'll be able to glorify you with this. In Jesus' name, amen. Alrighty. So, first things first, I gotta sleep. So I'm gonna do that to start things off here. Nice and simple. I'm going to also try to put my mic in a different spot. There we go. Try to get finagle that around and everything. Alrighty. So let's remember where I left off, because I can't remember what I was doing last exactly. How much iron do I have? I have a decent amount. We're gonna steal it because I would much rather use it for villagers, but I'm going to collect this and do a little bit of this action over here. I'm trying to expand this wheat field so that way when we build the second one, I do think I want another wheat field. So 2 massive wheat fields side by side is definitely a look I want to go for. Just to kind of walk through, and it almost feels like it was one field at a time, but then it got turned into 2 separate fields when the pathway was made and this house was built. You know what I mean? So they kind of getting a little bit of a story like that going on. Kind of the plan right now. Looks like we finally have gotten the whole first 2 levels covered in wheat, so that's nice. We can start in the 3rd level. Almost perfect amount for that, but there we go. Alright, we'll wait on the rest of this. Gotta be very careful. I don't want to break anything as I'm breaking things. Anyways, we're gonna go ahead and head on to the back. I gotta check. The weed itself doesn't actually matter to us right now. It'll be useful for farms. Packed mud. Those have nothing to do with. Those have nothing to relate to each other. Packed mud is why those are useful. Right, so we still have this beautiful villager iron farm that we got here. Super iron farm of doom. Producing iron like crazy. We will need to eventually get a sorting system there to sort out iron. Which, one thing I might actually do is actually have it sort out poppies. So that way we'll automatically be filtering out the poppies into a bone meal maker kind of thing. And we'll have that. This farm's funny. Oh dear! Okay. That got scary. That got really scary for a second there. Whew! Anyways. Yeah, I found that farm funny because for some reason sometimes they get pushed into the walls and suffocate rather than burning. So, I mean, very interesting indeed. But I don't know if the song is just quiet right now. Okay, there we go. Got a little concerned there that the music had stopped, and I was like, oh no. Okay. Right, so I have all of the books for the hat. I do need a little bit more. I need boots and that, so I still need, oh, what are you? Your protection, respiration, fortune, looting, depth strider, breaking. Okay. Oh, I need you to grow up. Try to get XP, because I believe I have the book. I just don't have the XP to upgrade my hat to the final level. So I would... Oh my, you guys really want the iron today, don't you? But I don't think I'm going to be able to... Oh, you don't. You don't either. Okay. Okay. Didn't think so. Okay. So I have to wait for those guys to grow up so that way I can trade with them. So let's go ahead and start working on the planning stage. The other thing that I kind of want to work on is the basement area. Oh no! Well, let's hope our mouse doesn't die. Flashing red. I actually don't know if this is true, but I'm assuming when it flashes red, it's low battery. But we'll see if it can last the 2 hours because I don't like playing with it hooked up. It's not a battery powered mouse. It's like you plug it in and charge it, but I don't like have it charged because I don't like the tether. Technically wheat fits into that category more. Right, so what's the book that I need? Oh, I need protection on this. That's right. I need actual protection on it, you know. Oh dear, that's 19. I believe this is also protection. Then I have Aqua Infinity that I never needed to buy, and Depth Strider, which I do have for that. This is my looting book, and this is a fortune book. Cool. Alright, so I need Unbreaking and Mending for this, and then Mending for this, and of course that, and then I just need to upgrade this in total. And that just gives me Unbreaking. And that gives me knockback, which we don't want. So I'm going to go the Unbreaking route if I ever get there. But now, so let's see. So we have this big old farm right here. So I want to have another one that starts right where that water kind of is, probably like midway through here. Actually, you know what? Probably start it at the edge of this, kind of following it. Kind of go up where that tree is and kind of go up a little bit more. I think I need to expand this pathway a little bit more because as like this one, it's going to follow the path up, but it'll be really long compared to this, which is much wider. It'll be super long, but relatively thin. I say relatively thin. So I actually might have it come up kind of over here going up, but I do want it to go big, which actually, now that I think about it, I don't necessarily need, because basically I could use these blocks to map out the edges, but I'd like to just get the pathway in there. So, do still have quite a bit of coarse dirt left. So I am going to get that planned out. No, don't do that. But I don't know. Quite low on spruce, so I'll need to chop down a couple spruce trees. That's not a biggie. Not a biggie at all. And then, as I said, I kind of do want to work on the basement. I'm starting to think that one of the things I got to get done, one of the things I got to do, I think I want to start actually having this go up this way. Kind of slightly straighter path. Alright, let's see how this looks. I kind of feel like I'm gonna sneeze, but then at the same time, it's like, no, oh. Turns out we didn't need to sneeze. It was like going in between, like, you do, and then it would go away, and I'm like, okay, I don't, and then it'd come back, and I'm like, oh, I do. Very, very confusing, but nonetheless, we've got it sorted. That's kind of a confusing spot that I might just take that out, then have it go up. Not sure just yet. Of course, all of this grass feels very nice. Though I think I probably want to go right to that edge, actually. And actually, maybe I do want to just come around this. In fact, what I could do is cut into this. And, like, right there, cut this. Kind of do that. And then I'll put, whoops, I do not want to turn that off. And then it'll kind of follow the edge of this and pop up a little bit like a block. So to go right about there, up to there, come over, and then kind of follow along the edge. Really long, I said. I want to go, like, every time I think, oh, this is probably big enough, I'm going to make it bigger. That's kind of my strategy right now. That I'm hoping it'll achieve the look that I'm after. Is like the main thing. And then eventually we'll get some bigger carrot farms, and of course potato and beetroot, and then we'll get some more like flower, sweet berry farms like that. Okay, we're gonna do a little bit of plantation first, though. Do a little bit of this, do a little bit of that, a little bit of this, a little bit of that, a little bit of here, a little bit there. Get all this stuff. I'll get all this sorted. Oh, that sneeze. It's fudging me over. Alrighty. Let's continue. Alright. Perfect. Gosh darn it. Hold on. I'm gonna grab out flint and steel. Let me burn you guys. Come here, come here. Thanks. Cool. Those guys are now dealt with. Add this to my collection. Coolio beanio. Alrighty. Let's go ahead and check on the villagers. See where they're at currently. And then we will do the farm next. At least the outline of the farm. Getting a bit of lag. Oh, they're not grown up yet. Alright, gotta wait a little bit longer. Whew. Alrighty, well, that just means we gotta now get the farm started, right? So I think I'm gonna do what I did last time. We're gonna build it pretty much out of cobblestone as the main block, and then yeah, and then I think I'm gonna do the andesite and the other block. I think that's probably the best strategy to go, and then decorate it later with all the other blocks. I think would be the better way to go. Cool. So I think I'm gonna this is kind of a awkward situation being where it's like on the hill. I'm gonna try to incorporate that a little bit. Whoops, that's not where I wanted it. I wanted it right there. Ugh. I don't know why I'm experiencing so much lag. I think I want the entrance to be like right here. Obviously, I will remove. No, not on the top. Dang stair block. So like this. Yeah, see, that isn't actually as big as you'd think it would have been. And here I was like thinking it was gonna be way too big. No, this is just perfect. This is right where I want it. Needed to get out of here, bruh. Could not have sheep in my wheat farms. It's not gonna work. that kind of adds something interesting. I kind of like working with the shape of the land a lot. And, you know, rather than, like, trying to conform the land to an ideal situation, I try to take it more at the unideal and be like, alright, well, you know, it's not ideal that you have that. Like, obviously here I did kind of have it slope less, have a weird, like, slope in the back there. That makes sense to get rid of. Like here, how it goes down, it makes sense to kind of leave that. Leave the little slope going down. Because, like, if you work with the land, it won't be supernatural. So I kind of like that. I also think I lied. I kind of want to get the mossy stuff in first before I start working on anything else. I want to do that first. So, in order to do that, I need to know where the water is going to go. Before I do that, it's time to replant. Yeah, so this stream is probably going to be a lot of, like, back and forth of going between, getting stuff from this field and all that good jazz. And going between villagers and building. I can't wait until we get everything situated so we can just start, like, building like crazy and just resource gathering and all that good stuff. That'll be pretty fun to do. Hey, man, just saying. Y'all are the first people to see the start of the world, the humble beginnings. Not everyone can say that they were there. The humble beginnings. Cool. I don't want to brick anything, which is why I added myself some nice little down areas. Because soon that whole field will be grown, and then we can start growing the other field. But now it is villager time. Ooh, I like that. See, I like this look right here. We have both the walls on either side kind of helping guide you along. And of course, this is a lot longer than the other field, intentionally. And then I'm going to have a building kind of right in here. And then I might put a little bit of like a pathway that kind of goes in the back. And have a little bit of a gap. I don't want it to be back to back. Actually, let me just put this away. Now that I got this in my inventory. Alright, sticks go up there, and you go in there. Another thing I kind of want to get working on, I don't know if I want to have this in my house or not, or if I want to put it elsewhere, is I need a place for this. For the Bible, the verse book thingy, because right now I just kind of read it right out in this area. And of course, you have like the bedroom in there. We have this downstairs area, which doesn't go anywhere, and of course leads straight into this. So that's something fun to deal with. But that's obviously going to be various different areas designed for like smithing areas and all that kind of stuff. So I'm thinking the next building we do right here, not only will it be kind of like a farmhouse for these two, for the big wheat fields, like a place to store, like, actually I probably should have like a storage silo next to this house. Not connected, next to. So I might want to build a storage silo first, and then build a, and then of course build a, the thingamabob. And that way, we'll have the storage silo in there for literally storing all of that good jazz. And the house next to it will be a smaller house, fitted mainly so we can put the stream book in there. You know, essentially, like, the owner of the house is the owner of the silo, who owns the farms as well. Kind of the story we got going. And we're almost to the 19... levels that I'd really like. Woo, there we go. We can upgrade our helmet, so that's very nice. We can start working on the next guy. So we need I need a Smite. A Smite book. Or Feather Falling. Those are kind of the books I'm in the market for right now. Is Smite and or Feather Falling. And I already have a Depth Strider book. So yeah, that's it, because I can't get the other books that I'd want for my... I can't get Swift Sneak from these guys, nor can I get Soul Speed from these guys, so I'd have to wait to go to a Bastion for those, or bartering. Depends. Sometimes you don't always get lucky. So yeah, that's kind of my thing. I don't know why I keep zooming at them, my bad. Knockback. Gross. So we're starting to get thin on the wire when it comes to, like, what we actually are kind of looking for here, because I just want Smite and Feather Falling, which we could possibly get Feather Falling from villagers, or from the enchanting table, sorry. Sorry, there's somebody shouting outside, and I was trying to, like, my brain's like, what are they saying? Ooh. Yeah, we'll take that. We'll take that. Because we only need to buy it once. We only need Feather Falling once. So I don't mind spending a little bit more on, like, Feather Falling and Smite. Because, as I just said, we only need to buy it once. So, let's go ahead and try to get Smite. And I have all of these holding cells for villagers, but I don't really actually have that big a need for all of them. Alrighty. Because by the time we get to the point where we'd need to buy en masse books, we'd be able to get these guys down to 1 emerald with zombies. But right now, we'll only need it once, so I don't mind the expensive. Also, welcome into Knowledge, even though you're going straight into Lurk. Oh, yes, I'm going to say this now for any of those who watch the VOD. I will not be live on Thursday, this upcoming Thursday, because I will be partying, aka just hanging out with my roommates. One of them, their parents are going to be in town, so we're going to be chilling there having pizza, but we're going to be doing that at like 6:30, so I won't be able to make it back in time, and I don't want to put them on a time crunch or not go. So, letting you guys know in advance, I will not be live on Thursday. I will also let people know if they come in, like, mainly Mateus, if he comes in today, I'll let him know since he's normally around. But yeah, so for those of you who watch the VOD, we will not be live on Thursday. I will also put an announcement in the Discord that I will not be live on Thursday. I'll probably put that announcement in on Wednesday. And then, of course, as I just said, yeah. So that's going to be pretty fun. I'm going to miss not streaming on Thursday, though. Ooh, you know what? Smite 4 for 55 just isn't worth it. If it was Smite 5, it'd be worth it. But I'd have to buy 2 of them in order to get it. So not quite worth that amount of emeralds for. Sorry. Let me go ahead and grab the other emeralds that I have in here. The stack. Because once I get that, I'd have everything to upgrade my gear, and then I'd need to get mending for the remainder of my gear. Because I do not have a lot of that, I will say. Oh, you know what I completely forgot to do today? I kept telling myself from the morning, I needed to look into some of the YouTube settings on live streaming. I needed to find it and then look into what I can do on the YouTube side because I'm not fully familiar with it. And I was supposed to do that like while waiting in between classes, and I completely forgot. And then I had time before stream to do that as well, and I just dwindled my time away. And of course I remember while I'm live. Hopefully I'll remember to look into that after stream today. The nice thing about that with YouTube is I don't have to switch accounts for live streaming and pleasure watching because it's all on the same account, unlike my Twitch, where I have an account for viewing and watching and an account for live streaming. And if you ask why, and honestly, why haven't I switched them over and like haven't chosen one? is because Linksy is my reason. I have a lot of stats with my other account in his channel that I don't want to just get rid of, and I don't mind swapping back and forth. I kind of like the separation, that it's like, okay, yeah, I have a specific, you know, thing for that. I mean, it doesn't matter that much. Plus, I mean, if I ever get famous, I'm kind of incognito then, and only if you remember that I used to be Doug. Though I have been thinking about it, that, like, yeah, I changed my name over to the SDK, right? But if I want this to become a big organization where it's not me specifically, but, like, something other people could be a part of too, then having this channel specifically be that would kind of be weird. And so it makes sense to have this be back to being Doug, and then have STK as the, tag that you can search it with. And then, yeah, kind of doing that is, like, my main thought, is, like, having those be separate again, instead of being one. Which, of course, I changed, like, all of my channel names over, which I think I'm actually still going to leave it that way, since it is currently just me. It's a one-man organization currently. But yeah, that's something that we'll have to wait on God for, to see what he has planned for that. I know what I have planned for and what I'd like to see, but that doesn't really matter because it's up to God to see what he wants to do. And I just listen to him and do as he says. I'm just his servant. I'm just a humble, random servant of God. It's wonderful. It means I don't have to actually think that much. I still like thinking, though. I like planning. Yeah, this might take us a while to get to Smite. Yeah, because I like Smite over Sharpness on the sword now, because you fight more undead mobs than you do alive mobs with your sword. Like, zombies and skeletons are like your two big mobs. Creepers aren't, so that's why the axe has Sharpness 5, which doesn't insta-kill them, unfortunately, and surprisingly, doesn't insta-kill them. But, you can shoot them with a bow, and I typically will be shooting them with a bow, so that's kind of why those are separated. And another thing I have to do is get the villager that I kind of have upgraded a little bit. I need to get them upgraded all the way to name tags, so that way I can name one of my villagers for the Channel War Redemption that Mateus did, doing that. And then, of course, once I start getting more tools, we'll do the name my tool. My main set will be the names that I always give it, because I always give them the same name, right, as you can see. Actually, my armor recently changed. My armor used to be more bland, and it was just like woven hat, woven this, woven that. And now I have it after the Armor of God, because I didn't know any other fancy, like, names of armor pieces other than the Armor of God. But I kind of have it different, like the Hat of Salvation will have the chest plate of righteousness, the pantaloons of peace, and the boots of peace, pantaloons of truth is how it is. It's the belt of truth and the sandals of peace. But of course, changing that slightly for our stuff. And then, of course, the Doug Scalaba is the name of the sword once we get to actually getting the sword set up. Boom. Yes. I agree with everything you guys are saying, except for you. I don't agree with you. And then, of course, the other thing we can do with the name tag is we can name Charles and actually give him a name. Me casually just sitting cross-legged in my chair with very little space on either side to really do this, but hey, it works. Dude, earlier today, I was just chilling in my computer class, and my back just started hurting, and I was like, what the frick's going on? And, like, I tried cracking it like I normally do, and that didn't help, and I'm like, what is going on? It eventually went away, and I was like, that was weird. And I fixed my posture and everything. I did all the tricks. You can give me as expensive as you want Smite 5, a good Smite 4, or a ridiculously cheap Smite 3, where I can combine it all myself. Bane of Arthropods 5. Bleh. Ain't nobody be using Bane of Arthropods 5. Maybe for your spider farm. But that's not common. Why did you decide you didn't like Lectern anymore? What could you... Alright, he's being a dingalo. In that case, I will take Feather Falling 4 back home. And I'm going to put protection on the helmet. And then we should be pretty good. Ooh. Alright. Ooh, okay. We do have one more villager, so we could put him in there as well and start trading with him. And I could always get another iron trader. The only issue with that is I still am not producing quite enough iron to supply. Feather Falling 4 we could put in the middle there. Protection. Boom. Hat of Salvation. Done. Mending and breaking. Aqua Infinity Respiration and Protection. Done and done. All I need... some of the other books. Now, one thing I do want to do is, of course, Wheatfield, while we wait for the other guy to come to his senses. That could have been dangerous. That could have been dangerous. So, you know I have the accents, right? I was thinking, because I can do more accents than the ones that are there that are slightly different than my normal voice, but there's no way to, like, determine what it is. Like, it isn't, like, a language accent, but just, like, you know, almost like a caricature kind of accent. Since I can do things like that as well, I was like, what if in the accent area I had like names that went to certain characters that had certain accents, and then like, you know, you'd have to pick a random name and then you have to get familiar with what name means what in order to be like, okay, so this name is this accent, and then for future reference you can pick the ones you like and then you know which ones to avoid. Because of course once you buy them, once you buy it and you want me to do it, I'm doing that thing for 10 minutes. 10 whole minutes. Because that's the rules. Which means you'll have to deal with it for 10 whole minutes. I'm just saying. Because I was discussing with myself earlier today about the different accents and how, like, first you give a character... First you create a character, then you give a special accent to that character, to which then the accent in return gains character and becomes unique on its own compared to any other accent. And so that's kind of like what I was thinking about. And I was like, yeah, that could be kind of fun and interesting. Alright, that should be good for now. We'll come back later when this is a little bit more grown. In the meantime, back to the villagers and back to grabbing iron. Yeah, cause I'm quite excited for some of the stuff I have planned. Like I'm gonna lean fully into the pumpkin patch here, and I will cover up that hole. Yeah, look at this. Look at this. How much iron we get. We almost get like the 200 mark. We almost get 200. Each time from just chilling around the area. So that's kind of nice. Oh, it's almost it's 4,500 per hour theoretically. So we know it's got to be somewhat good. So I could always do an AFK stream. Now I have been using my Switch with the Yankee Shadowcast recently, and for some reason the sound isn't coming through, and I don't know how to fix it. And it also links to my microphone. And so then I'm like, you can hear the echo of me talking because it's picking it up in the microphone. I'm like, why? Why? Why is it picking it up? I don't know, but it is. So I'll have to figure out how to get the sound to come through. I'm thinking of unplugging the HDMI itself and replugging it in, because I don't really have any other ideas on how to just fix that. You've come back to your sensing, and you gave me impaling. Out of that whole long wait, you give me impaling. He's insane. No, but I'm making pretty cool strides in my single-player world. I'm finally working on so I have this big old mine shaft cave that goes down, and there's 3 different mine shafts that stem off of it that are at the different Y levels for the different resources, and they both hit 2 resources roughly. So I have one for copper ore veins, but that also hits coal, one for iron ore veins, but that also hits redstone, and then one for diamonds, but that also hits redstone, I think. No, iron and gold, and then diamonds and redstone. Those are kind of like the 3 sectors, but there's a separate little cave that runs off right before you get into Deep Slate area, which is the skeleton area. So that's kind of the fun part, is that little skeleton area, and so I've been working on that and like putting bones into it, making it like as if you just like mined into a bunch of fossils that are all near each other. There's one area that's more straight than the other areas, so I made that look more like a rib cage, which is really fun to do. So like, I've been having a lot of fun building that, and I'm just about, the next thing I got to do is it goes right to a skeleton spawner. So that's currently my like main XP form, is the skeleton spawner. And so I got that, and I got to decorate the whole main area, but I just put in like a sorting system for the bones and arrows and to delete everything else that isn't those. And yeah, quite fun stuff. But I didn't take the time to decorate it because it was underneath, so I just have it covered up. Because I really don't need those, because I have a mob farm already, so like arrows and bones aren't like hard to get. And I actually need to add a sorting system to the mob farm. But soon I will build a mob farm here, and these villagers are my main source of XP, which is both good and bad. It's not the greatest, but it might not be bad to create a cactus farm to get cactus farm, so that way I can do like one of the furnace XP kind of things for quick and easy XP, like a big store pile of it, and then eventually get like an actual like, and once I get to the end, I want to do an ender probably pretty soon, once I get like an elytra and all of that. Yeah, unlike so like previous hardcore world, we kind of rushed and got all the temporary villagers set up and everything, went crazy on it and all that good jazz. And like that wasn't bad, but it didn't give me a lot of resources to start with. I like the way I started this season, and in my other world, I'm intentionally not getting an elytra until I finish the area that I'm working in. I'm gonna build it all without an elytra, and I'm almost at 400 days in that world, and I still don't have an elytra because I haven't gotten to the end yet. And it's intentional, but it's really slow because I'm like, I want an elytra. Like, trying to find mangrove was really tedious because I had to go, like, tens of thousands of blocks. So I almost traveled over 50,000 blocks in the world in different directions trying to find mangrove until eventually I did. And that was rough. Not having a elytra and doing it all by foot and boat. So, ugh. Yeah, not doing that again. I should probably sleep. So yeah, as I said, I ain't gonna do that again. So I don't want to do that in this world because I would like to have an elytra. It makes life easier. So I will be getting an elytra soonish. I want to get my gear all set up. I do want to get it all netherited before I go to the end and everything. I should have the data pack that drops the elytra, dragon head, and dragon egg upon death, so that way we can get those a little bit easier, and elytra's a little bit easier without having to go to end islands, but I also want shulker boxes and all that good jazz. So yeah. And then, of course, because we have access to the end, I want to, that means I'm going to want, the farm for that. But I just realized I still have yet to go to, yeah, 17 for Smite 1, that's crazy. Smite 5, please. I still want to go to the nether. I haven't gone to the nether yet, so I kind of need that in order to get everything else. So I don't know what the nether spawn is looking like. But I think I want to, before I go to the nether, I want to create the building for the nether first, is kind of my plan. Let's get that done and dusted and all that good jazz. Seems like jazz is my new word of the time. I will randomly go through catchphrases and mannerisms throughout my daily. Not actually daily, but normally like I'll get something and I'll use a phrase several times for a week or you know, a month or something like that, and then like I'll stop saying that phrase and do something new. So it looks like jazz is the new thing. I forgot how tedious this process is. It's crazy. I just want smite, my guy. Is that so much to ask for? Though another good game to play for AFK is Bloons. That's always a fun game to play. Though, unlike my Switch, I don't have a separate account for playing games like I can with the Switch. So I have the one account for that. But I don't mind with Bloons. I just kind of play that in my spare time. I almost have 170 hours in Bloons Tower Defense 6, which is crazy. I actually played some earlier today, now that I think about it. So yeah, I'm at like 169.5 hours. So I don't know if that's counting the mobile. I bought it on my phone. Because for some reason I have to buy it again. I tried getting the Steam app to see if I could get it for free on my phone. But I couldn't, so I had to buy it again. It was only $7 worth it. Now I have it on my phone, so now I can do it on the go. Rather than needing my computer. Mainly for when I don't have my computers in close range. But for this computer, I do plan to upgrade RAM soon. The hard part is figuring out what RAM this takes. This is a laptop, so it is slightly more difficult trying to figure that stuff out. But that's okay. That is okay. We should be able to do it. I believe, if I recall correctly, it has 16 gigs right now. I want to get another 16 gig RAM card to bring it up to 32. So I really want to have this be a really good laptop and last me for quite some time. Because I think the RAM will help as well. Especially when it comes to, like, I sometimes get lag spikes when I'm watching a YouTube video, and I always have a live stream up in the background anytime my computer's on. The only time I don't is when I'm live streaming, I don't have it on the background to minimize the amount that's happening in the background, because obviously I have the game, OBS, and Spotify all running at the same time. And of course, I'm live streaming to YouTube and Twitch, so that's also kind of taken from there. But that's more of an internet thing than it's going to be my computer, but still. But obviously, I want to kind of upgrade the RAM, because that'll hopefully help with the processing. I'm not a very big computer nerd, so I have no idea. I know computer nerds. I may be taking an introduction to information systems and technologies, but I still don't understand any of it. It's all jargon to me. The class is set up as if you need to know everything already, but, yeah, whatever. And it's almost over. 4 more weeks of college, that's it. This is week 4. After this, it'll be 3 weeks. It's almost done. I'm so excited. I actually really want the summer to come around. Because now that I live here, I can hopefully, and I'm really hoping, I can work at the rock wall that's here. We'll only be 8 minutes away. So I can work at the rock wall, and then I'll keep the job pretty much until the end of, I don't know why I'd ever change it. I just work at the rock wall, and have a lot of fun doing that. But yeah, being able to, set routes, and I know exactly the route I want to set for my first set. So I'm quite excited for that. Stop being a turd. Thank you. Ow. Oh boy. I mean, this is a great way to load your iron farm for a little while. I mean, stuck in one place doing this. That's actually a pretty good trade for a Baling 5. I'm not even gonna lie. Alright. I'm getting tired of this. I'll take any smite at this point. Nah, I lied. Not that smite. I'm not gonna take 40 emeralds for 3. I'll take 40 emeralds for 4, please. Yeah, man. Bro. Potato chip. Come on. I'll take a cheap smite 3. I'll take an expensive 4 or 5. I don't care at this point. I have enough emeralds to buy 2 smite 5 or smite 4 books that are like 40 emeralds, you know what I mean? I will take the 55 for 4, please. I just want smite. I only need it once or twice, depending on whether I get 4 or 5. Bro, I'll take 5 for 64, dude. Come on. I'm getting desperate out here, man. Come on. Help me out. Not sharpest 5. Smite, 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 smite. Bro, I'm literally, like, glitching out, dude. It's crazy. Efficiency 5 for 24. That's insanely good. I already have a pretty good efficiency 5 guy, but that's pretty darn good. Getting a 5er book for less than 30 is a really good deal, seeing as they normally go up to 64. Oh, man. Bro, help a brother out here. You know how hard this is to make entertaining? Come on. Come on. Hey, hey, hey. We're taking it. I don't care what you say. Taking it. 2 Smite 4 books. Thank you. Look at it. That's all I had to say. All I had to say. He did it for the viewers. He did it for the viewers. Okay. Let's go ahead and combine these Johns together to be Smite 5. And then we'll put it in the bookshelf. And then we'll almost soon be getting stuff. Look at how much the wheat has grown. Oh, but imagine this all. Oof. Oof. It's gonna look amazing. Can't wait. Alright, so we have looting 3. So I do believe I need Sweeping Edge, which I passed up a couple because I totally forgot that I needed Sweeping Edge. But I have Aqua Infinity, so I don't need Aqua Infinity. So I have Feather Falling, Depth Strider, and Protection. So yeah, all I need is Mending. So I'm going to buy a Mending and Unbreaking book. Yeah, for the for my boots. Because they're taking quite a beating lately. I've been falling a lot. I need Feather Falling, man. You have no idea, bro. I need Feather Falling bad. I am down bad for the Feather Falling. Okay, so you're the guy. Just keep upgrading. Which one of you is Unbreaking 3, bruh? Oh, here you are. Cool. Thanks. Thanks, Chief Keeflin. Okay. Charles! Oh, look at that. Look at that. Look at that carrot farm. Look at that carrot farm. All grown up. Charles! I need mending from you, please. Actually, I'll take another one while I'm here. I'll take another. I'll take another. I am always in need of mending, because I do need mending for these two as well. And I need unbreaking for it as well, but unfortunately, I am quite broke. I don't think that's quite enough. Nope, it is one shy of the amount required for that. Before I go over to the wheat farm and start upgrading this stuff, I'm going to try to breed up some more villagers, so that way I can get some more stuff, because I do have just enough. And then we're going to go ahead and head on over. And then we'll move on. We won't be able to enchant a lot, because I just don't have that much, but that's okay. Ooh. That's okay. We can get it. We can get it all sorted out. Literally running IRL right now, trying to get over. Bro, I still can't believe like Joe Hills plays with foot pedals. Like, that's still surprising me. I'm just like, bro, the foot pedals? So it's mending. Alright. Okay. So this is going to be the Boots of Peace. Feather Falling is 7, Depth Strider is 9, and Protection is 7. So let's put these all on the top, because this is for a helmet. These are all for the boots. I'm gonna put it on the leggings just because that completes the leggings. These are now fully enchanted. Of course, this now needs to be fully enchanted with mending as well. I don't have a mending book, but that's okay. These have mending and I'm breaking on them at least, so those will get healed up soon. But we're going to do wheat. Changing octaves on you so that way you guys are staying awake. Soon we won't have to do this anymore, guys. We can just let it grow out. Don't worry, don't worry. We're almost there. We're almost there. Unless you find this entertaining, let me know. Is farming sim entertaining? Question mark? See, if I keep my mouse at the right level, I can break all the fully grown ones without breaking any of the ones that are currently growing. Quite a neat, quite handy, I will say, because then you can just go through and destroy them all. It's not a perfect system, of course, because the, like, you know, you'll change it around a little bit, and then you walk forward, and then you get into the range of another hitbox, but it works pretty nicely. It has a pretty successful, uh, pretty high rate of success, especially with, like, the shorter ones. You're almost never going to break. Like, with my carrot farm, when it's fully grown and there's a couple, it's hard not to hit them. But with just a small amount, you just keep it up. And, like, I'm holding down the mouse button, right? And so, yeah, it works pretty good. It works pretty good, I will say. Yeah, like, there it didn't work out so well, but that's fine. You win some, you lose some. It's not a perfect system, but it's a pretty good one. It's pretty effective, I'll say. One thing I will say I'm super excited for is getting big storage system set up and exactly what I want to do with that big storage system. Because I have a lot of plans, because I kind of want to do, as I said, I want to do like a call recall storage system, and like in the main city area where I'll be living, you know, have these terminals all over. So basically the storage system is underneath the whole city, but there's these terminals that pop out of the ground where you can call back the resources you want. So in the terminals, there'll be an area to basically specify your order. So you could say, I want this item, and you'll throw the item that you're looking for into the chest, and then maybe there'll be a separate, like a barrel. In the barrel is kind of like an if-then statement clause. So if a shulker box is in that barrel, then I want a shulker box of said item. And then I can go even further, because we'll have it go through a hopper sorting system. So it'll sort for the shulker box. Actually, maybe I won't put a shulker box in there, because that's not stackable. So doing a sorting system for that, it's going to be a little bit... Well, actually, no, never mind. We can have it dispense. And so if it places, if a block places, if the shulker box places, then it's a shulker box. And that'll tell the system, well, you need a shulker box of this item. Then I'll have a numbering system where I'll be able to throw in a piece of paper that has a number on it. And so we'll have an assortment of numbers, but like maybe we'll have like a max 10, because I probably will need more than that. But basically, I'll tell the system, I need 10 shulker boxes of said item. And then it would go and fetch 10 shulker boxes of the item that I had specified and said I needed. So that is kind of the whole thing. And then have the terminals all over the place. Now I can be anywhere in the city area and be like, oh, I need this. I can then tell the system, hey, I need some of this stuff. And then it'll probably take a while for it to come in. You know, it's like it's you know, fully extracted vanilla refined storage, or applied energistics. It's like, it's just that mod, but in vanilla is basically what I want to do. Now, I'm not, like, super redstone tech savvy. I don't really do much with redstone. I've thought about trying to build this in a survival world. Or not survival world, but in a creative testing world, to be like, but I think it would be fun to try to build it live on stream. Because I'm also going to try and build it... I'm also going to try to build it in my personal world as well, maybe. I've been thinking about it. I've been toiling back and forth whether or not I want to build it in my personal world, or save it for this world only. We'll see what happens on either worlds, to see what I'll do. But that's what I want to do for a storage system, because I think that would be a whole lot of fun, is to build that and get that all situated, because it'll be really cool to be able to be like, okay, I want stone, and I want it more than a shulker box of stone. It'll always come in shulker boxes, because that'll be the easiest way to transport it. So it'll be like a hopper, or not a hopper, but a chest, minecart with a chest will come up and drop off a shulker box of the item I had specified, and then I'll be able to take out as much as I want, and then I'll throw it back into the system, and then it'll go back into the shulker box loader and be refilled back to 100%. And then, or I could throw a shulker box in there. And I think if I throw the shulker box in there, the default will always be 2. If there's a shulker box in the system, when I put it in the barrel, it'll always default to I want 2 shulker boxes of said item, because then I will take both shulker boxes with me to go to the next thing. And then if I put a number in, so it'll start at 3, so it'll be like, do you want 3 shulker boxes up to like 10? So as I said, I probably won't want more than 10 shulker boxes of said item. Like, I'm not really going to be building anything that huge, not quite yet. So that's the premise of the system. We'll see. And who knows, maybe if I make a pretty successful system, maybe some people will be interested in it, and I can do a tutorial on how to build the whole thing. Maybe. It might be a little bit more complicated than a tutorial kind of system, now that I think about it. Yeah, we gotta repair. Okay, that was way faster than I thought it would be. So that's the only one that is not repaired right now. Now I can buy myself another unbreaking for... This needs unbreaking as well, and then the sword will also need unbreaking. But for now, we'll do that. And then I'll need mending. Aw, man. By the way, I'll have to sleep. Yeep. Yeah, so that's kind of my my plan. Sorry, I had a notification on Discord, and I just don't like that red one. So, I like clearing the notification. Pretty ambitious project, I won't lie. There's a lot there, and it's going to be massive, and a lot of it's going to be underground. Now, I probably... Oh, hey, thanks for coming straight to me. There's a lot to unpack. Because, of course, first of all, it was massive. And am I going to do this with every item? Because one thought is, yeah, of course I'd do it with every item. Now I just need XP more than I need emeralds, but emeralds are handy. Which, like, even things like stairs and slabs, basically. And then I was thinking, well, if it's all, like, underground, then essentially it takes up no footprint. The footprint is the terminal, to which it's like the mailbox system. I'm just throwing a bunch of stuff in, and then the system deciphers what it all means. So, like, as I said, the barrel will determine things. And I think I will have things get locked in there, and I'll press a button when I'm ready for it to send. So that way I can get my if-then statements ready. So I'll put things in the barrel, like I'll put a shulker box in the barrel. And so the system will know, okay, you want 2 shulker boxes. And then I'll say, and then I'll put, the item would have already been in there. But that way I don't put the item in, and it's already giving me a shulker box of that item because I put it in first, and I have to be quick with it. Like, I'll put it all in, press a button, and then the system will be like, okay, so you want a shulker box of stone. That's it, because that's all I put in was 1 stone block, and then the stone block will be recycled to the main system area. I mean, pretty cool. Ooh. There we go. Bro, why is this one dude just not lowering that? Oh, he finally lowers it to 3. Jeez Louise, man. I'm glad all of them have it lowered to 3 now. Alright, perfect. And they're not raising it up. And that's always the best part. Alright, so let's go ahead and put these onto my chest plate, get that all situated, and then see how much we can do with our boots and try to get feather falling on them. Actually, I might try to do feather falling first and then do mending and unbreaking on the chest plate next. But we're getting very close to having diamond gear all set. Once I get the sword and a bow, then I'll head to the nether and start that and getting netherite. Is kind of my plan right now. So we do that. So feather falling, that's depth strider. Which one's feather falling? Is that one feather falling? That's protection. That one's feather falling, ain't it? Yeah. So I want to do feather falling first because of how much I fall. And then of course mending, and I want this to be the breastplate of righteousness. Breastplate of righteousness. Oh, I actually still need it, though, because I want to put that on there. And there we go. Fully enchanted chestplate, hat, pants, and not quite the boots yet. Though I do want to see how much it's going to cost me. Depth Strider is 13, and that is 11, so we'll be putting the protection on next. And then after that, I'm obviously going to want to put on Soul Speed, if I can. Okay, just making sure I don't have any extra seeds in there. Alright. Let's go ahead and grab all these guys. Yoinkage all of this. Yes, sir. Ooh. Alright. Oh, I thought I missed a spot there. We're almost done with the whole plantaging of this whole farm, so that's pretty exciting. And then I think since we're in a lot of waiting, I might be ending soon. I'm not gonna lie. Not the most interesting of streams today. A lot of heavy duty work, but hey, you gotta do what you gotta do in order to get everything done. As I said, this is humble beginnings here. Okay. Coolio Beania. I could see if I could trade bread or wheat, since I have all of it that I'm getting, but don't know if that's quite worth it yet, because I could also, as I said, use it for mud. Now that's quite a good deal. I think I'm going to do one last round of iron collection and trading to get an XP and see if I can't upgrade my boots to the protection level. And then we'll probably call it there, because I kind of got everything I was thinking of doing today done. I was never intending on fully building the farm, just kind of getting the outline of it done. So I got that done, so I'm not... I kind of got that checked off in my head. And then, of course, the villagers, I got way more done with them than I thought I was going to get done. So that's always beneficial. Man, but I will tell you, iron, it does flow in pretty good. I think next Sunday, I might want to do an AFK stream at the iron farm. Just because getting a huge supply of iron pretty early on, like getting a lot of that iron will help tremendously. Alright, does not look like we quite make the threshold I was looking for of 11. That's okay. But yeah, I might do an AFK stream. I have to actually set up an AFK stream thingamabob. Because right now I don't have a scene. That's what they're called. Jeez, it's like written right there. I need to get a scene that is a thingamabob. AFK. But we're gonna end early today. Whoop, I don't need to go that many. I just need to go to here. So it is finally 4/2/24, and we are going to be reading from Ephesians, one of my favorite books. I only say Ephesians is my favorite book because it was the book The first verse I ever memorized was Ephesians 2:10. But in reality, I'm not sure if it still would be or if I have a little bit of a bias towards it. So I almost need to read it again and figure out. Because, like, I think out of all the books I've read, probably John would have been one of my more favored books. Uh, that's so unfortunate. One word on the other side. That's it. Dang. Okay. This one's kind of a weird one. I'm not gonna lie. Kind of a strange one. But we got Ephesians 6:12. For we do not wrestle against flesh and blood, but against the rulers, against the authorities, against cosmic powers over this present darkness, against the spiritual forces of evil in the heavenly places. Actually, I want to look at the context behind this. I got to look at what exactly is happening around this, because right now this doesn't make a whole lot of sense. Just reading it as is. So we're going to go ahead and grab Ephesians 6:12. The armor of God. Okay, so finally be strong in the Lord, and this is starting from verse 10. Finally be strong in the Lord, and in the strength of his might, put on the whole armor of God, that you may be able to stand against the schemes of the devil. For we do not wrestle against flesh and blood, but against the rulers, against the authorities, against the cosmic powers over this present darkness, against the spiritual forces of the evil in the heavenly places. Therefore, take up the whole armor of God, and then goes into the armor of God. So, because at first I was going to misconstrue this because it required the context. Because, of course, first thing you see is, oh, don't wrestle against flesh and blood, which is ourselves. Don't wrestle each other and ourselves, but against the rulers and against the authorities. So first you're like, oh, like against the government? No, because that's not the context. The first thing that's mentioned when it comes there is be strong in the Lord, put on the whole armor of God. They may be able to stand against the schemes of the devil. Oh. So this is all in relation to the schemes of the devil. Do not wrestle against flesh and blood, because your flesh is, well, your flesh, and fleshly desires are always going to exist because of Adam and Eve, the sin that first entered, misconstrued God's wonderful way he made us into something more sinister and evil and twisted, perverted. So it's like, don't wrestle against flesh and blood, but against the rulers and authorities, against the cosmic powers, basically against those who are led by the devil instead of led by God, are the people we should really be fighting against, not just the authorities in general. Like, oh, I don't like this stupid little rule, so I'm going to rebel, but like generally evil and anti-biblical things is what we need to be standing against. That can sometimes be found in the rulers and the authorities, because of course then the next thing is against cosmic powers. So, you know, that's kind of the in quotations, battle between good and evil and God versus Satan, even though God wins by default. And then, of course, you have against the spiritual forces of evil in heavenly places. So, you know, that's more of the demonic presence and all of that good jazz, even though it's not good. But that's kind of the more context of it. And then, of course, the following, verse 12, is put on the armor of God. Take up the whole armor of God, that you may be able to withstand in the evil day, and having done all, to stand firm. Stand therefore, having fastened on the belt of truth, and having put on the breastplate of righteousness, and as shoes for your feet, having put on the readiness given by the gospel of peace. And then, of course, it continues further with the rest of the armor of God. So, yeah, that's kind of what I have to say again, for that. We'll just leave it on places. I'm just kidding. We're going to leave it on that one because it looks nicer. We're going to sleep. We're going to end. I feel like I have to now get it perfectly on 888. So, that is going to do it for today. So let's go ahead and see who is currently live. We can cut the music. We can actually just straight up cut the desktop. Let's go ahead and raid Denalid out here. / raid Denalid TX. So we got, let me turn on that. Scooching on in with the good news. SDK live heart. SDK live high. SDK live raid. I'm gonna put one in for the funs of it. But y'all don't have access to this unless you're subscribed. Let's go ahead and raid on over. Boom.